Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is another cash envelope stuffing as we've got to the end of another week. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So if you've watched my videos before, you'll notice that there's something different already, and that's the fact that actually I've got a different cash envelope binder today. And what I did, and I talked about this in a different video, is actually I've split up my cash envelopes for everyday kind of weekly expenses, which is what this one now is, and then my sinking funds are in the purple one. So it's just to make it slightly easier and to make sure that they're separate and kind of they're treated as such, if that makes sense, because it's so easy just to kind of switch between the two if you're not careful, and that defeats the point of having them. So as always, I'll link the binder and the envelopes below, but this is my kind of new but not new setup, if you like, because it's not new in terms of the envelopes are just the same inside, but the binder itself is new. And again, it's just from Amazon, just a slightly different style. So I'll just explain what we're going to do. So if you've seen my savings challenges video, you'll know that I'm doing something slightly different, and that is I've got some cash left in my envelopes, and that new plan. Oh, and also I've already changed one of them already. So last week I had a closed envelope in here and I put £20 in that. But I talked about in that video about how actually I don't buy clothes very often, and I was worried that I just end up kind of putting it in, taking it out and putting it back in, and it really didn't make any sense. And then a lovely commenter commented on the video and said, why don't you move the clothes envelope into your sinking funds and have it in there instead, and that way it's there if you need it, but it's not like a weekly thing. And that seemed like such an obvious solution, so thank you if that was you. So I put the clothes envelope in the sinking funds binder instead, and then as and when I need to buy new clothes, it's there in that, instead of being in here weekly and then not just getting touched and actually kind of ruining the kind of the balance in the process. And the second thing, and I was kind of interrupted myself there, but the second thing is I've got all this change in these cash envelopes, and actually because I'm doing that savings challenge, and I'll leave a link below to that savings challenge video if you want to have a watch and join me in any of those, I'm actually going to now empty all of these cash envelopes out so that they're empty. And now I haven't done it this way before, so this seems a bit strange. Normally I would like roll across the money, and so there's £5 left in the food envelope in coins. I normally just leave that in there and kind of roll it over. But this time, because I'm doing something slightly different, I'm not going to. So all of these are going to be empty. So essentially every week, I guess, I'm starting again with 0. Which seems a bit of a strange way of working, but we'll try it and see how it goes. Okay, so they're now all empty, my 5 cash envelopes. So this is the new system of starting from 0 every time, and hopefully, you know, over time the savings challenge will help me in terms of longer term and different goals. And like I said, if you've not seen that video, then feel free to check that out. After this one, I'll leave the link in the description box below. I'll just take these out now so they're not in there. So, empty cash envelopes, so starting from scratch again. So let's see. So for food this week, I'm going to put in, I did a kind of a bigger food drop last week, which I intended to. And this week I should be able to. The only difference is from kind of planning these last week to this week is I'm now back working from home again. So I'm at home more often, and obviously I drink lots more cups of tea when I'm at home as to when I'm at work. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm going to put £60 in food for this week. 20, 40, 60. And that should be enough for us for this week. We're not going anywhere. I've got some things in the freezer and we'll see how it goes. I'll turn this around. So £60 in there for food for this week. Like I said, that should definitely be enough. We don't really tend to go over that particularly, but we'll see. So £60 there on food for the for the second week. The next one is petrol. So again, last week I didn't put anything in this because I said we just filled the car up, and this week now I'm not travelling, so it's about 50 miles for me to drive to work and back, and obviously now I'm not going to be doing that, but we still need to do kind of little shorter journeys. In some ways that uses the petrol quicker, so I'm going to put £20 in petrol. I think that should be enough. Like I said, I'm not doing as much driving nowhere near, all of a sudden again, a silver lining to working from home, I suppose, is that. So I put £20 in the Petrol envelope and just put £20 in there this week and see how long or how far that gets us. But that should be enough. And we'll see. Miscellaneous. Again, I kind of got quite a few things from this last week. Oh, and I also paid the window cleaner from the Miscellaneous envelope. So our window cleaner kind of comes, he's supposed to come once a month, but sometimes it feels like I don't know, sometimes he doesn't seem to come for ages. But it's £15 to get our windows cleaned, which I don't know if is good or not. But it came out of the Miscellaneous envelope, so I had barely anything left in here. But in terms of household stuff, we don't need a lot. That being said, I'm going to put £20 in here. As always, it feels like now that's kind of like the number that goes in the Miscellaneous envelope. And we'll see. I do need to get some more cat food at some point. So £20 in the Miscellaneous envelope. Children, as always, is something that I don't tend to spend a lot of money out of. The majority that I've just taken out of this, like out of all of them, is from the children's envelope. And it's still going to be the same. I'm still going to put £20 in the children's envelope because that just feels like a kind of a good amount for them. And if something kind of comes up, then £20 normally kind of covers it. But you know, we're in lockdown again, aren't we? So the chance to do something is really slim. And even things like going to the park and getting, I was going to say an ice cream, but we're in January, but you know, even things like that at the moment aren't particularly on the cards. So £20 goes in the children's envelope, and we'll just see how that goes. I have a feeling that during this next 12 months with these savings challenges, the majority of the savings challenge for one of them is going to come from the children's envelope, just because it never gets spent. But there you go. And then the final one is my eating out one. You'll notice this is empty because we went to McDonald's. When did we go? Anyway, sometime in the last week, so this is empty. But I'm going to put £10 in here. I don't want to get in the habit now that I'm not doing my no spend year of just eating out or getting things from takeaways or Costa all the time. Mind, I am tempted by going to Costa, I must admit. However, not to sit in obviously because we're not allowed, but I can drive through a drive. I can drive past a drive-through on the way home. So I put £10 in there and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to try and have that £10 left at the end of the week. I don't want to get in the habit of just getting takeaways and eating out and, you know, all again. One of the good things about the no spend year was I properly kind of got rid of that habit, and it was really good. And also, obviously, you know, if you make things at home, it is much more healthier than kind of getting stuff to eat out all the time. And now that I'm home all the time, I can't use excuses that I'm too busy at work and stuff, because I'm in my own house. So I need to figure that one out. So to summarise, I've got £10 in the eating out one, £20 in the children one, £20 in the Miscellaneous, £20 in petrol and £60 in food, and they are my cash envelopes for the week ahead. It just seems like a bit of a weird situation again. And talking of weird situations, I know we've gone kind of back into lockdown. I am going to try and use my cash envelopes for as long as I can, providing I feel comfortable with that decision, and I will let you know if I change my mind. But at the moment, I do think that this system, I talked to some of the people about this the other day, this cash envelope system just does help me to stay on track much more. So we'll see how that goes. Are you using cash envelopes? Have you got yours set up for the week ahead? Let me know if you do, and as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again very soon.